Okay, we're live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. A little bit late today again, but Cody's here so far. How's it going?
Good. A little cold. That's
Yeah, you
about
were talking
it.
about some severe weather before we got started.
Yeah, I'm pretty much frozen. I can feel it in my face, my hands, my legs. I'm freaking like froze.
So what have you been up to this week other than being frozen?
Oh, nothing. Passed my EMT stuff, the class. I got my certification on uh Saturday. I had to retake the test, the written part of it. Um that was on last Monday, and then I had to retake it, so I studied up all week and stuff, and took it again on Saturday and passed it. So
Nice.
got that all done, and I got another round of testing for the state to practice in the state, and then yeah, so it's good. I mean, an achievement.
So
Got some
probably
games, I
okay.
guess. I mean, not nothing major. I came across some stuff I'd been looking for, and I don't know how you deal on eBay, but
I don't.
I I usually get pretty good deals. And what I'll do is I will not just go off of what they want for a price. I'll talk to them. I'll send them a message and be like, "Hey, man, would you do this? Would you do this?" And like, usually I get no response, but maybe 1 out of 5 I get a response back of some sort, and I would say I get a favorable about once a month. And like, anyways, there's this guy. He had some Master System stuff, and like, they're a couple of the rarer copies, and they want usually like 70-80 bucks a copy for it. And like, I don't know if it's worth it, but I mean, I've just noticed the pattern of all that stuff going up. So I mean, if I can get a deal on a game for like 40 bucks, and it's a rarer one to get, I'm gonna do it. And I basically got Castle of Illusion, the US version, and one called Aerial Assault, basically secured with the guy.
Nice. Yeah, it's always a good idea to ask just for deals on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as it's polite, obviously you're just being polite about it. Because like some people get offended by it. Of people asking, it's just kind of odd.
Oh yeah, and the thing is I won this game I've been trying to get for Master System from a guy in Italy, and the guy wants payment. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to send you payment. You got to send me shipping. You have to update your invoice with shipping. And like, I had QDog looking at a game for me and testing the link too last week on the same game, but it was another guy from Italy, same game, just a different listing. And I said, hey man, can you see if you can do buy it now on this, and like, he helped me out and checked it on his end. And I said, I mean, you won't buy it, immediately anyways, just check it for me, see if it'll let you check out even. And he did, and it wouldn't let him check it out. And that's the same with me. And I don't get what's going on there with Italy, because Italy's like, there's something with their shipping, like they won't ship to the US or something, or certain areas. And it's like, okay, that makes no damn sense to me, because I mean, if they're part of the EU, I don't know if they are, the European Union, it's like, why wouldn't you ship? I mean, I've gotten stuff from France, I've gotten stuff from Germany, I've gotten stuff from Great Britain, all those countries. I've even got one from a dude in like Norway, like a bunch of some games in Norway once from this guy. And like, it makes no sense, why Italy's whatever's going on there. And the guy's like, well, just buy it now, and I don't know if it's because he can't understand the English, but uh I won this auction. And now I can't check out, and he's bitching to me that he wants his money. And it's like, come on, dude, you gotta
Yeah,
take some initiative and figure out this yourself too.
Yeah,
Not,
you need to know how much you owe in shipping in order to pay it.
well, and you know, I think it was already calculated like $15, but the
Just want to
thing
make
is,
sure.
yeah, well, no, eBay won't let me check it out because he did not put the whole dollar amount in there. It's just becoming a pain in the ass, and it's
Yeah.
like if I end up having to cancel this transaction, first off, I'm going to be kind of PO'd because this game runs, you know, it's a Master System game. It's called Assault City, and there's two versions of Assault City. There's a gamepad version of it where you just use the controller, and then there's a light phaser version of it. The light phaser version is not as common, and I guess is the better way to play it. And it also runs about $100. So, you know, I think I won it for like 43 American, and I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I mean, I'd rather pay that than 100. And I've been trying to get this game, and it's just, I don't know, it's being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, sounds like it. Anyway, hey Sean and Jared in the chat. Yeah, I haven't been up to a whole heck of a lot this week. It's I've been playing a lot of Anthem with P1 and Musty occasionally, which has been good. A lot of mixed reception on that game, mostly negative because of, I guess, people just jumped to conclusions a lot with EA and because of BioWare with an Andromeda before. But there's definitely some problems that I've had with it, but it's been a good game overall.
You seen that though,
Yeah,
right?
yes, Sean, I bought a thing. The pickups will be later.
You seen the numbers, right? Or what they're
uh,
saying? I mean, I don't care. Numbers don't matter to me, but
I've heard
they're
that it
saying that
was.
it's selling worse than Andromeda.
I've heard that it's been selling really bad at retail, and I think that's exclusive to the UK, the numbers at least. But I haven't looked into it myself, so that's just speculation. But I don't think that includes digital, and I think at this point, a lot of people who are into the live game stuff, like Destiny and Division and all that, are kind of sick of, after a certain amount of DLC has been added, purchasable or not, your disc, like the disc is more of an authentication than what you actually need to play the game. Like 90% of the game is on the hard drive at that point, so it's like I no longer want to use this stupid disc. There's barely even anything on it at this point compared to what's been added, and you
Yeah.
just end up wishing you could get the digital copy. And I've had that a couple times, so I got it digital, and a lot of people probably did the same thing because like if it's not like the disc will be usable in the future, so why? So that might
I've
be why
just
it's low,
I no, well, I've also read that
partially.
the end game status of the game is um it's like Destiny. You know, you just running around to try to get loot, and the loot system's broken.
Ish.
Yep.
It's not
And
really
like,
broken, but it's flawed, I'll say, for now. But that'll get better.
I
None of
mean,
these games
it
launch
does
well.
look like a cool game, but I'm just, you know, like I said, I'm gonna wait for it to be a sale.
Yeah, wait for some patches if you're not like in right now. That's fair. I thought I was gonna actually end up regretting it. Like even after like the two first weekends, which weren't good examples, those should have been labeled betas rather than demos. That was just a really bad idea to call it a demo. And then the 10-hour preview on EA Access. I just there were enough problems there that I was really iffy about it still, but I decided to buy it because I was enjoying it enough and there was a good multiplayer crew from the club on Xbox. But after putting like another 10, 15 hours in, I'm actually really enjoying it. There are things that keep me from enjoying it as much as I possibly could be, but there's nothing that ruins the game for me so far. The biggest gripe I have in terms of just like people complain about load screens and like the initial the initial big loads, those were like a minute long, but all the other small ones were like less than 10 seconds each. It's fine. Some of them are in weird places in terms of game design, but other than that, they're not a huge deterrent. But the one thing that really bothers me is in free play, you can't place your own waypoints on the map to follow. Like, you can't do custom waypoints. And the public world events don't show up if you're far away from them. They're only proximity based. You can't see one that's active on the other side of the map and then go there. But these are all things that can be easily patched in. Not that can be done in a weekend, but there's no reason they can't add that stuff based on community feedback. It's a rough launch, just like all the other live service games are. Division 2 is going to have a rough launch, but they'll get better over time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just not seeing anything I'm really too hyped for other than that Left Alive, and even there, I don't know. I've been reading some stuff on it, and I'm almost wondering if it isn't worth the full price tag too. I don't know what's going on there. You know, it's just like I don't know. I'm just tired of paying $60 for games that are just mediocre. You know.
Yeah. Sean says he doesn't think the world events go active until you get close, and I think that's actually correct. There's only 4 people in any given lobby of the free play, which is also strange. That's the size of the squad, but if you're just going in solo, there's only 3 other people randomly around the world also going solo or in smaller groups. It's just kind of a little bit of a barren thing in terms of just people going around. That's not game breaking, obviously. It's just a little strange given other games the way they do it. But yeah, but I'd still like to see that there is an event across the map if I would like to go do it. Like, even if it just is going to only go active when I get there, it's just like, you have the option to go do this thing over here. Would be nice, especially when you're like looking for stuff to do. It would just be a convenience update. But I don't want to get super heavy on Anthem more than I already have, because if Musty and a couple other people come on, that'll probably come up again. But that's my initial impressions on that. Yeah, that Left Alive game, I saw a little bit of footage of it. I don't know why. I think it's because people kept comparing it to Front Mission, and I know it's in that universe. I was expecting like kind of top-down tactical, and it's more of a third-person shooter type setup. Like, not like generically so. It's still obviously tactical, but I didn't know that was the setup for it. I haven't seen any mech combat yet, though.
You know, and I did see the mech combat, and like, I was kind of thinking, what the hell? You know, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I can't remember if that was a full price game or not. I mean, it just doesn't, I don't know. I mean, it looks
feel like
cool.
One for you.
It looks cool though. I mean, I know how Square Enix art style is on some of those games. Like, did you ever play Mind Jack?
Oh God.
A PS3?
Yes.
Or it was 362, I think. But
I am one of the few people that played Mind Jack. Yes.
yeah. Me and my buddy would play Mind Jack and stuff, and like I thought it was cool. It looks like a mixture of Mind Jack mixed with some Metal Gear, because the guy who used to work at Konami is one of the developers or producers or whatever that Left Alive. So,
where is that? Do I still?
But he used to work for Konami on the Metal Gear games, and that's, I think he put his Metal Gear touch to their game, but it looks like Mind Jack, you know.
That's not necessarily a compliment. Actually, that's not a compliment at all. That game was not fantastic, and unshockingly, I don't think I have it anymore. But
I don't know. I still got mine. I think it's like a underground like classic in a way, you know, because it played so so rough, you know, but yet it was cool how you could
Entertaining.
just transport into one other dude, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was just like you would have to
Oh,
be
it
like
was
on
bad.
that. You'd have to be on that mindset of understanding what the hell's going on, you know.
Yeah. I don't remember it being very good. I remember it for that year, I think it was one of the worst reviewed like disc release games of the time, which is kind of the main reason I wanted to pick it up. Because like, is this game as bad as people are saying it is? And I eventually found it for $2 in the back of a coin and hobby shop of all places that like had posted that they have games that people brought in and just left there for sale on Craigslist. And I went there and they had Mind Jack and I got it for $2. I played that a little bit. Wasn't very good, but I don't think it was as bad as people were saying. But it was still not fantastic.
Yeah.
But like I forgot about the teleporting, like the possessing people aspect of it. I think that
Yeah.
works against its favor actually, because I think there are other games of that type that were better that maybe people still had in their mind, and that maybe why, in part, that it didn't do so well. Other than the fact that like it had a whole bunch of glitches and stuff like that. But Psyops had that, Second Sight, I think, and what was the other one? Hey, Eric.
Hugh
What was the
Dowg.
other? Geist. That was the other possession type
Yeah,
game on
yeah.
GameCube. But yeah,
Yeah.
there I listed 3 off the top of my head that did that well, and Mind Jack didn't do it as well. So that's probably one of the major reasons, other than the flawed design of it, that it didn't take off. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
an odd one. Be fun to go back to eventually. How's it going, Eric?
Hello. Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold here too.
We somehow started talking about Mind Jack. That's a game I haven't thought about in a long time. Did you ever play that?
I've never heard of it.
That's understandable. It was one of the worst reviewed games of the year it came out.
For which platform?
360 and PS3.
It's called Mind Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a possession type third-person shooter thing.
It was a Square Enix game.
Yeah, it came up because of Left Alive. Cody,
The guy,
that's what it looks like.
If you've ever played that Dreamcast game Carrier, the guy looks like the dude off a Carrier.
Is that right?
Did you ever play like Front Mission Evolved?
Nope.
That was another PS3 game where they tried to bring back the Front Mission and it was not good. But let's just say, you know, the mech fights in that, dude, look like it's a little bit of that Front Mission Evolved thing going on. And I'm just like, man, what the hell are they doing? You know?
Yeah, in terms of front mission tactical type games, it'd have to do pretty poorly to reach the bar that is like the bottom of what I've played. And the bottom bar of, I know it's not like Left Alive isn't tactical in the same way as those ones are, but just in terms of that kind of realm, the bottom tier game of just like the freaking worst one I've ever played is Zoid's Assault on 360. It was like 45 minutes of cinematic and tutorial in just the most boring, drab way possible. How do you make Zoids that boring? Like, I know Zoids isn't like the most exciting franchise in the universe, but how do you make it that freaking gray and drab? It's like, it's robot animal tanks. Why would you make that gritty?
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time I can think of that's been done well, and it was because of a translation weirdness, was of all things Power Rangers RPM. They had like the gritty post-apocalypse setting, but everyone had animal-themed, brightly colored Zords. But that's because the Japanese series it was based off of was really cartoony and bright and happy. So like they wrote the post-apocalypse thing before I guess the writer saw that that's what the style they were adapting from was. So they just worked it into the narrative. It's like the scientists just wanted to make cute things. Everything else is super serious, but they've got cute animal Zords. I thought that was funny. Anyway, that's that ramble over. about things people can't.
About
friggin-
Zoids.
Zoids and Zoids.
Is it
Zords.
Zoids with a Z at the end or an S?
S.
Oh.
Given that Power Rangers was 90s, I'm surprised Zords ended in S.
Oh, I thought it was like a double Z.
Nah.
Zoids.
Zoids.
Oh, man. Dude, you know what I thought was really cool? I watched this dude's video on YouTube. They were talking about the Pioneer Laser Active. And like, now I want one, dude. Now I want one. And it's like, man, that thing is like, I found it looks like if you have to fix it, it is a nightmare. You know, it looks like they're a nightmare to fix. And like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that one is. Anyway, hey Kevin in the chat.
The Laser Active, Pioneer Laser Active was it played laser discs, and then it had a add-on module for like Sega CD and PC Engine, and you could plug it in the front and play those games too in Genesis, and it looked like a stereo receiver. But Sega actually made some Laserdisc games too, which I thought was interesting on the full-size Laserdisc discs, and they were FMV, and like they were putting the FMV Laserdisc game side by side to a Sega CD game, and the Laserdisc looked really good. I was surprised. I was like, wow, dude. I mean, the games just look, you know, pretty standard. They didn't really go into major depth, but you know, one of them looked cool, but it was just like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. A Laserdisc game's like $50 or more. And I mean, I pay that for a Master System.
I'm surprised it's that low, honestly, just for the obscurity of the thing.
But I mean, looking at the module, like to get the Mega Drive module, it's $250 plus $20 shipping. That's about the average. You know, the $200 for the just the system with no add-on. Without the add-on, it's like $215. And it was released in Japan. I don't know if it was released in the US in any way, but it's beginning to seem like, from what I've read, it was never released in the US that I know of. What do you know, Eric?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
What do you know about the Laser Active?
I know that it's a pretty cool thing, but there's no chance I'm not getting one. They're too hard. They're too rare. They're very expensive. Am I still on mute?
No, I hear you. I'm just kind of like thinking like, all right, you know. I mean, was it ever released in the US? Do you know that? Do you know?
Okay. I don't. I thought it was. I'd always thought it was. I don't know. I don't know that it's a particularly good system to play anything on. It's just a collectible thing. It's just a neat thing to have. And I understand that can be hard to service.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that I watched a video on YouTube about the guys tearing down the board and fixing this the Laser Active, and it was really cool to see how the work they had to do, but I mean the amount of caps was ridiculous, dude. I was like, holy crap. And they were close to the chips too, like real close. And you know, that would be scary. You know, you definitely want somebody who's really good at it to fix it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've done a little bit of it, messing around and fix stuff, but I wouldn't say messing around, but you know, pretty amateur, you know, and fix stuff. But that would be like, just, you would have to be good, you know, you'd have to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Laser Active did come out in the US.
Did it?
Yeah, on September 13th, 1993, and it was $970.
Wow.
That's according to a cursory glance at Wikipedia, so grain of salt.
See, that's so weird. Like, I mean, I've seen a few auctions. They want some decent amount of cash for them, man. I mean, and there's no guarantee on the conditions. You know, it's a like me. I'm looking at like I'd like to get a Laserdisc player. I know where one is, and you know that is just sitting in a shop, but it's a Quasar and it has wood grain. I mean, the thing is ugly as hell, you know, and it does have a component out or composite out, but I mean, I didn't even see it the first time I looked at it. And I went back into the store and looked again and kind of looked it over. And I was thinking, man, is this thing RF only? What the hell, man? This thing, you know, this is a Laserdisc player. You figure it'd at least have component or S video, you know, and like I found the component on it and it was kind of hidden. And I was like, oh, okay. And nobody's picked it up. I've almost thought about, you know, offering the guy some money, but the guy is like, seriously, like sometimes he thinks his stuff's worth gold when it's really not, you know, because I mean it's a dirty machine. Is probably, you know, I bought a dual tape deck from the guy, a nice Sony one that's like a 80s and like has a cool little lit up display, you know, like boom, 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 you know, and beats go up, you know, and stuff. And like, you know, it was broke. I went to test it out. Thing was broke, man. One of the tape decks, you know, works, but it doesn't take the tape. And then the other side, the rollers, the pinch rollers are broken. So, you know, it's like, well, you know, I spent like $40 on that and the guy told me it worked. And it, you know, I just didn't feel like taking it back to argue with him. You know, I might run into a guy who can fix it, but you know, this, I'm just kind of nervous on taking a gamble on something that looks rough. You know, I'd like to get something that looks a little more updated, like the Pioneer one. You know, it's kind of a cool looking Laserdisc player.
Does it play Laserdisc movies or just the games?
No, it plays Laserdisc too.
Okay, that's probably more of a selling point than the actual games that are on the thing, to be honest with you. At least for me. Like, for as hard as those things are to repair, if you're not like super into it, like you could go through all that trouble, spend all that money, and at the end of it, you'd still be stuck with a laser active. It's not a great end result.
Well, I mean, the thing is like I've seen like some exclusive stuff that is gaming related, but it's out of Japan. So to get like I used to have tapes that would have like PlayStation stuff on it. It'd basically be a promo tape. And I had one for like Legend of Dragoon, and I don't know what the hell I did with it. I wish I would have kept it, but I had that one. I had another one. I want to say I had one for Omega Boost, and like they were VHS tapes that Sony would send out, and I got some of them. And you know, I just, being stupid, you know, and young, I'm like, dude, this shit's old. I don't want this, you know, and like. I wish I would have kept that stuff now. And like now, but anyways, I was getting distracted. Is the Laserdisc, they got like exclusive gaming related stuff on Laserdisc. You know, like promo videos and promo albums with video and things like that, you know, based around games on Laserdisc. And I mean,
this in the background.
Sorry.
Not super loud. I just can't tell what it is.
What are you doing, Eric? You making beats over there?
I'm just typing. I thought Google used to mute me automatically when it detected keyboard typing. I guess it's not doing that now.
Sounded like you were outside of a air hockey parlor.
No, sorry. I'll mute.
Fine.
I'll mute. Sound like he's making beats, dude. No, I'm just saying, I'm kind of thinking about checking out Laserdisc stuff. And I mean, the number one step is to buy a player, you know, and then go from there. But I don't know, man. I mean, I could buy the cheap one and see how that works, or I could just, you know, try to get something here, I might pay a little more extra. That might be a more premium device. So I don't know.
So Eric, what have you been up to this week?
I am trying to get through Catherine. I can only handle playing it in small chunks, though. Other than that, nothing really interesting. I gotta tell you. Pretty quiet. We've been watching some TV and some movies. I really want to get Catherine off my plate, though, because I'd like to move into some other games.
Yeah. That's a weird one, that game.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's weird.
Well, I'll make this comment, which is only suitable for a small comment, and that is, my cell phone annoys me in real life. I don't know why they would emulate that in a game.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's constantly ringing and buzzing and texting, and it's like, shut up.
Yeah, for the bar segments. I don't remember it being that intrusive, but I don't remember much of it at all.
I'm talking to the guys, and bing, bing, you've got a message. Bing, bing, you've got a mail. I respond to the text message. More messages are coming in. It's not that bad, but
yeah, it's enough. It's enough to
that
be.
It's like, come on, trying to get something done here. Yeah, it just annoys me. That's all. It's just a minor thing.
Are you getting grumpy, Eric?
No, I'm always this way. No, I just, it's just that's one of my own personal in real life peeves. When the phone's constantly going off, and it happens in that game.
Yeah, so when you're playing a game, you don't want the phone in the game going off constantly.
No, I'm talking to I'm trying to talk to the people in the bar, or whatever, and the phone's constantly going off. And it's not constant. It's like 4 or 5 times each night, but that's more than I'm. Anyway, the game's fine.
I'll tell you, man. When I go out working fire and stuff over the summer, I swear you always end up in a place where there's no service.
Yeah.
And like I'll go the summer with hardly minimal service, I might get a hotspot place for a couple hours a night, but other than that, I'm away from my phone, and like it's nice, it's nice, so when I do get back to my regular home where I have Wi-Fi and all that, it doesn't bother me anymore,
Sure. I guess I can see that.
But I do, cell phones have definitely become a pain in the ass. All they want to do is try to push advertising, and I can't stand it. And that's because of the apps. You can't even enjoy experience anymore without having something tried to be shoved in your face, and like none of it sticks in my mind. It's just stupid. I mean, I do know that, whatever they're tracking on me, my habits, I get game stuff tossed in my face a lot that causes me anxiety that I want to buy it. I'm like, okay, where did this come from? Why is this showing up for me?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed that stuff. I do, I notice that.
Yeah. I'm relatively selective on what apps I use on my phone.
But it doesn't ever get them. It rarely gets them anywhere unless it's something I've been searching for, that was on my mind, and then it might have slipped my mind for a week, and then I was like back on the hunt, So they want to make sure you keep hunting until you spend,
Yeah, the tracking stuff is a little concerning. It's funny, like I saw a video once of someone testing out to see if Google was listening even when they weren't online, like just like Google Chrome. I mean, and they just started talking about random specific things, and then it would open up a web page and it would be on it. I don't know if that was a faked video. I could see it either way, being real or fake. It's been a while.
I heard
but I had a moment that I think was a coincidence, but could have been a tracking situation, but it was too funny for me to be annoyed at it. Was I sneezed and then opened the web browser and there was a Kleenex ad. Google essentially offered me a tissue.
Bam.
Which, that was probably a coincidence, but it was funny to me.
Oh, dude, this looks so awesome, man. This looks so awesome. I'm looking at this Laserdisc game, and it's laser active. It says it's a US release. It's called Space Berserker. You should look that up. It's kind of cool, like the jacket they show on it. The Laserdisc had 3D sound with RSS, Roland Sound Space. Your 2-channel stereo system can create 3D sound effects from left, right, up, down, and front, back.
Sounds like you got bitten, man.
I don't know. I think it looks cool. I mean, I know
it's
that
definitely cool.
It's an interesting bit of history.
It's definitely cool, but man, you're hardcore.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it, Eric. That's the thing. I mean, I think it would be really cool, but it's just, damn, man. I mean,
yeah,
it looks expensive. Like, this game's $129, and you know damn well that it's definitely not going to be even as interesting as a Sega CD game, because it's going to be like a lot less controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's less interesting than games on CD? Games on Laserdisc. The only one that's like active in my mind when I think Laserdisc video games is the arcade of Dragon's Lair. Just because that's an interesting bit of history with that game specifically and the art style of it.
Yeah.
Just how they did that. I think a lot of games in arcades actually at that time ran on Laserdisc, and they just had like a hard drive backup for the data. I don't remember the deal with that. It's been a while since I thought about it. But that's like contributing to a lot of those arcades of that time dying, is just the Laserdisc functionality and the unreliability of that, especially with the glue coming undone in the 2 layers of it.
Of the disc itself?
Yeah.
So they were... So discs are glued together?
Well, like
I guess I never knew
all
that.
discs are they have an adhesive layer, if I'm not mistaken, or most discs do. And those ones that I need some water. But sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, I think the adhesive they used on the 2 layers of disc on the Laserdiscs was just faulty, so it just wasn't very future-proofed, and it just started breaking down fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another reason why those would be expensive, is because some of them are just failing rapidly. It's like how disc rot is starting to pop up now on older game systems, except more prevalent. I forgot to say hi to Derek in the chat. I didn't see the initial message, but he agreed with me with something to do with the discs, but I'm not sure which part. Probably that most discs would have an adhesive layer.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just know there's definitely that little niche market of those, and I don't know if I even want to get involved with it, but I think it'd be kind of cool because ultimately I want to get a Nomad again. I want to get a JVC-Xi again. And then I seen this Pioneer, and I was like, okay, I think it'd be kind of cool to get one of these big box Genesis, which is like way overkill for what the heck it even does. I mean, having the Genesis in there is the bonus, I mean, the initial units seem like they don't really ever have them built in. Like, you look at all those other units that were over in Japan that had the Genesis built into them, the karaoke stuff and things like that. It's like just an extra. I think it'd be kind of cool to get. Because if I'm gonna spend the money and get a freaking Laserdisc player and commit to checking out Laserdiscs, I'm gonna try to get one of these. I think that'd be my goal as well. I'm just going to go all out, get the whole unit, so that way I can come across the Sega unit sometime, or even the PC Engine unit and just do it. And it's stupid because I got 5 freaking Genesis in the house. You know what I mean? What do I need it for? You know, it's just not necessarily. I think it's just the cool different ones, you know, that it was featured in, I guess.
Yeah, Derek says for you in the chat, I think he just means in collecting in general, but I could be wrong. Is he said, Cody, I'd stick with what you used to have, and if considering trying something new, do it after you get everything you want to have again. And that's my thoughts on it. You may regret trying something new if it isn't that good once you have it.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, kind of the I think I mentioned that a bit ago. It's like just like even if you get one that's in working condition and stuff like that, and everything goes well, you're still ended up with a laser active, and it's maybe not the best end result. Yeah. Even if it is interesting, like you've put a lot of work in, and it's just like, oh, this is a novelty. Into the corner it goes. That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I think would be ultimately the risk. But
yeah, I mean, I got a Vita. Ask me how much I play it.
Yeah, I had a Vita too, and
yeah,
I traded it for something.
Yeah, I mean, I got it recently from Buried on Mars. He was getting rid of his, and I don't regret that, but it's just like, yeah, I don't play it much.
I do have the Vita TV though. I do have that because you can download PSP, you know, PlayStation 1 onto it and play games on it that way. And it will play some of your PSP games. Like I played that Killzone. The Killzone, is it No, that was the PSP. Mercenary, right? Anyways, I played the PSP.
Killzone Mercenary? Yeah.
The Vita. The Vita.
That's the Vita one. Liberation is the PSP game, and Mercenary is the Vita one.
There was two PSP ones. There was Killzone, Liberation, and there was. I got them both. There was 2 for the PSP.
2 Killzone games?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Are you mistaking it with Resistance? Because those were kind of like in the proximity of each other during that generation, and they both had a PSP game, and they're both shooters. The one was top down, but I don't think there was 2 of them.
I thought there was 2. Maybe I'm thinking of Mercenary.
Let's look it up. I have Killzone Liberation for PSP.
Yeah,
that's all I've got.
Yeah, you're thinking Mercenary on Vita because there's only one spin-off. There's only the 2 spin-off games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first 3, Shadowfall, those were console, and then Liberation on PSP and Mercenary on Vita. And the trilogy, obviously. But
and Liberation was like a top over 3/4.
Yeah.
You know, mostly top overview game. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I have a demo UMD of that. That was one of the only UMD demos that they did through PlayStation Magazine, if I recall correctly. I know there was a sampler disc, but it may have come with the system. But like that's the only one I remember that it was a UMD disc of just the demo for Liberation in the magazine. If anyone in the chat knows if there were any other PSP demo UMDs in PlayStation Magazine, let me know.
I think there was. I had gotten one. Well, no, I used to have stuff mailed to me by Sony for. I was in their beta program, and then I was in their underground program, and I'd get like betas, like unmarked stuff, just sent to me, and like, gosh, I remember just giving that away in a freaking rummage, you know.
Yeah,
I wish I would have kept all that stuff, dude.
The only thing I remember getting from PlayStation Underground is a hat, and I still have it. I don't use it, obviously, but
like, you know, Andrew House, the former president of PlayStation.
Yep.
I have a certificate by him that's signed when he was running that program. A foiled PlayStation certificate, though. It was pretty cool.
I think I have that too.
It was like from like 2002, 2003.
Yeah,
it's old, dude.
Right.
It's old.
Yeah, that was kind of cool to have at the time. Seemed like Seemed like it anyway. But yeah, I was just talking about demos that were included specifically with the magazine. Like that you just open the magazine up and it had that little sleeve inside, and you open that up and there's a disc in there.
Yeah.
And I think only one of them had a PSP UMD in there. Only one that I can recall, though.
You know, speaking of Killzone, I wonder if they're going to bring that back ever.
I mean, they did with Shadowfall in 2013, but that was the last we saw of it. Unless Mercenary came out after, but I know what you mean. Horizon has taken up the time for Guerrilla Studios. I think that was the developer. Now, if they have more Horizon to make, they're not going to make another freaking Killzone for a long time.
I just can't believe how cheap Shadowfall is, dude. That was a pretty good game, dude. You know, I mean, I'm looking. There's a copy, $5.95 right now, $3 shipping, and it's like that's freaking cheap, dude. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a game. That's like an unjustified pricing for that. I think that's crazy. I think it missed the mark because of something else that must have came out during the time of that release. Because I mean, it was
Knack must have killed all of the interest in Killzone. Everyone was playing Knack.
Well, I'm sure that there was a Call of Duty game that was still,
yeah, probably some other shooter,
the be-all shooter, you know. And Killzone does a good narrative story, and I don't know, their online play modes are pretty good too. I know that they still get a lot of people playing. There's a mode that they added in which by the time they added it, I was done playing it, you know, at least for online stuff. But the story's great. That game, I think, is just overlooked by a lot of people.
Yeah. I played like the opening mission of Shadowfall, and I had a really bad time with it. I don't know why. Maybe I was tired when I was playing it, but I never really went back to it. Mostly because it starts after the end of 3, and I never played 3. So I've got that now. So once I run through 3, I'll go into Shadowfall again.
Panasonic Q, huh, Deej?
He just left.
Oh. Yeah, I just seen that. You know, that's kind of cool too, like all those obscure stuff. Like my buddy found a CDI, you know, sitting behind a rack in the Kmart that was closing, and they just let him have it because it was so old. They were just like, you can just have it. So I remember that those just obscure systems like the JVC, I think, was kind of in that vein of that, you know, a Sega CD, karaoke, Genesis all in one, you know. And yeah, that's what it was. The Panasonic was a GameCube. Yeah. But it's just the 3DO. You know, I got a buddy who I'm waiting for him to commit, but he's been talking about offloading his stuff. And I actually had 3DO stuff that I got rid of when I bought out that store, and he wanted this 3DO stuff, so I sold it to him. And now I'm like, man, I want that 3DO stuff back, you know, because there was some pretty cool stuff in it. And I was actually just watching a video about 3DO saying the Japanese version of the 3DO is the best version to get. But yeah, just those little obscure systems, you know, I think are cool. The CDI, my buddy loves it. What was the other one? There was not CDI, but oh man, wasn't a 3DO. It was kind of like a CDI, but
yeah.
Was it a Panasonic something?
The only thing I can think of is laser active, but we already talked about that. I know that's not what you mean. But yeah, I think there was another one, but I just don't remember.
It was kind of like the CDI, you know, just a weird, obscure Philips CDI. No, that's what it was he got. I want to say there was something else that was like that that just totally missed the mark.
Neo Geo CD.
See, I don't know. I remember reading about that stuff, but I never thought that that stuff was obscure like that because Neo Geo already had a base, you know.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, though. I don't think that's even right, though.
Because it basically was just like this, a freaking FMV freaking educational game tool, you know. I think it was the Philips CDI is what I'm thinking. And
Yeah, that sounds right.
and the laser active. And the
Yeah.
laser active is what it, yeah. But the weird thing is if the laser active was released in the US, you know, I remember, gosh, I remember reading something. I must have been on a retro site and they were talking about the laser active on it. Like a game was supposed to be released for it and it never came out. Like they thought it was a big deal that it was like going to be a laser active game.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think any game being on the laser active was a big deal at the time, probably. At least for laser active fans. Just because there probably wasn't a heck of a lot on there. Interesting as these old consoles are, I'm kind of starting to glaze over because I don't have that much for the laser active discussion.
Guys, I gotta head out. I gotta help the daughter with some math homework.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call it an early night. Thanks for doing this. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, Eric. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, dude. I'm cold. You got any pickups?
Yeah, I was gonna get into that in a few minutes if no one else joined. Just because we're close to an hour in. I've only got 2 things. Kind of good things, but yeah, I can show them. It wouldn't be a huge deal to show them again if anyone joins up. So, I am messing up with remembering where buttons are.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I'll actually do that second. On the Transformers front, you got the new Ultra Magnus figure that came out, which looks freaking awesome. Like you might not be able to tell through the webcam here, but there's just so much detail on it, and it's a big figure. I haven't really figured out how to transform it super well yet, but that's size comparison for the new Optimus. So it's a big figure. A little bit more than I wanted to spend on a figure like this, but I don't regret it so far. I just need to look up instructions for it. But cool to have an Ultra Magnus figure for once. It's like he's got like armor bits over him, and it's the white Optimus Prime body underneath, and that becomes the cab, and the armor bits become the trailer. So it's pretty cool. Transforms kind of similar to the fire truck Optimus Prime from the original Robots in Disguise, like the early 2000s one, if you ever saw those. And then it takes inspiration from the Ultra Magnus from that generation as well, but it's a G1 design. Anyway, I know I'm one of the only people that gives a shit about that, so I'm gonna move on. Is a big pickup for the week, and is tangentially related to Anthem. Is I got an Xbox One X.
Damn.
Upgrade from my original model. The fact that Fallout 76 is the game that came with it created a steep discount.
Really?
I'll count that as free and take it. It's $130 off.
Wow.
But still expensive, and the tax really stung. But I don't mind getting a free copy of that game that's of dubious quality if it means getting $100 less for the console than every other bundle I can see. The only really unfortunate thing about it was, at least for me personally, is you can see the size of the box on this. It's kind of like this standard size. Amazon shipped it in a box twice that size with no padding. It was shipped in this big bastard like that.
What the
No
hell?
padding whatsoever. It was literally hopping up, down, left, and right in shipping.
I'd have threw a fit about that.
I might try and get something from Amazon for it, but
yeah, I'd be like, dude, why would you
nothing's
pack my
broken.
stuff?
Nothing's broken or really all dinged up all that bad on the box. I set up the system and it works great. Huge difference for Anthem. That's the only game I've tried so far, but I noticed a massive improvement going from the original model to that. I don't even have 4K and I don't give a shit. I see a huge improvement. But I like the way they did this packaging for like the little the inclusions. It's a weird design and more paper than is necessary, but it's a good presentation. Yeah, that's what I got this week.
Yeah, all I got was I don't even have it in here. I have it in the other room where I got that big freaking old DLP thing, whatever it is. That it's called Art Alive for Genesis. I just got that because it has the Toe Jam and Earl stencils you can make pictures with.
I remember the title Art Alive, but I don't remember the thing.
It's nothing major. I just wanted to make some Toe Jam and Earl images and troll them on Twitter.
Yeah, you're the only reason I'm seeing their tweets.
Oh, dude, man, like freaking tonight they had a chat in the Twitch. They had 200 people in there tonight. Greg Johnson was in there talking with us, talking about the game, and like, you know, it's happening. You know, it's happening on Friday. It's probably not what people are going to be used to with how games are these days, but I mean,
it's
you know, you would have. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Nice. Be curious.
I might even have a couple extra copies that I can just give out some Steam codes and stuff, but
it might not be Mac compatible, and I don't play on computer, so I won't be taking advantage of that if you have codes. But I'm sure a lot of people would.
But you know, I mean, I have a lot of Genesis, or not Genesis, PS4 codes too. So all my buddies in town here, you know, that I play games with, will probably get one, and Melinda, and then the Steam codes. I mean, I'm gonna keep one for my PC because I guess the PC version has the best graphics and will have one extra playable character that the other two versions don't have right now.
Timed exclusive.
Well, I don't know if it's timed or what. They just said right now that one of the characters was only available on PC. I don't know the reasoning for that, but I don't know. It's more of just a personal deal with that game. It's kind of cool that they showed the Indie Box Collector's Edition that's coming out, and that Indie Box Collector's Edition actually looks like the old the red box Genesis games, where it has the red and the little gray candy cane design. It says Sega Genesis on the side there.
No? Which one are you talking about? The cardboard box variety, or?
Yeah, cardboard box variety or the plastic copy. You know, it just has Genesis in red. Okay. You know, when they start doing the red boxes.
Let me see here.
I'll show you.
Yeah, whoopsie. We're safe. I don't have a lot of wiggle room for this chair.
Okay, so like they did Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay, now I know what you mean.
One, the it has a candy cane. If you look at it, a dark design. Black, red. Yeah. Anyways, they're doing a collector's edition that looks like this of the game, and I got that one too on the Kickstarter. And then I'll show you what I got the other day. Actually, I got something to show.
I know this is probably blasphemy for Toe Jam and Earl fans, but the only one that I really played and got into was that second one, Panic on Funkatron.
Dude, they're actually talking about doing another game based on the Panic on Funkatron gameplay.
Yeah, the side scroller. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I got this. I finally got this. It's a clamshell done by Limited Run. That mimics a Genesis game. It's got the Limited Run foil. I got number 59 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, number 59 of 500. They did 500 of these, and
Yeah, that's a pretty low number for that.
It's a poster. All it is a poster, and then there's cards in here, but it looks like a cartridge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they made the side-scrolling remake into a Metroidvania?
Which
if they made a Pentagon Funkatron style Toe Jam and Earl, but they turned it into a Metroidvania game with a big open map.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
That actually would kind of work. I'd be into it.
See,
I know there's a lot of that style of game right now, but whatever.
That looks like it fits right beside it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like when they do stuff like that. Like, have you seen the Steelbook that comes with the collector's edition of the Flashback remaster thing that came out recently, the 25th anniversary, I think it was?
I don't think so, but I definitely have seen the physical PS4 copy.
Yeah, it's like they put out a special edition of it that comes with a Steelbook that looks like a Super Nintendo cartridge.
Yeah, I want to get that physical copy of the Flashback, even though I got it on PS3. These guys are cool, dude. The Contra. They look terrible. They look
the figures.
Terrible. Yeah, they look fucking terrible, but
a little higher fidelity than their video game sprites, but I see what you mean. I saw those in a comic shop once.
I do like Contra. I mean, for Nintendo property, Contra is definitely my favorite, probably. One of them.
I couldn't get super into it. I have it, but I just need to play it more, I think.
You know,
again, for series blasphemy, I think the only one I got into and finished was Neo Contra on PS2. Granted, I missed all the early Contras, so I just saw that game and it looked cool when it came out. And that was the only one I had experience with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you played any of those. I have those PS2 Contras too, and I think Shattered Soldier's the one I like.
I haven't played that one.
Shattered Soldier's pretty cool. It seems like it fits right after Contra Hardcore, you know.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I've got my original copy of Neo Contra here still. I don't remember if I bought it new or used, but I think it was new. So I remember it being a bit expensive at the time. I picked up...
Is that the one where his buddy, the narrative of the story is his buddy betrayed him?
I don't remember. I literally played this when it came out, and I haven't touched it since, I don't think.
I think his original partner from the original Contra game betrayed him in that one.
Hey, Musty.
Hello.
Must have it.
Pretty good.
I just got my OST downloaded.
Ah, nice. For Anthem.
So good. Yep. Yes, context.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went over some thoughts on that at the beginning of this, but I cut myself off because I figured we'd get into it again.
Yeah.
On a similar note, did you see my pickups before you came on?
I saw that you got your X, so that's awesome.
Yes, I did. I also got a transfer.
And I heard you say notable difference, notable improvement.
Even without the HDR or 4K. And it was funny because I think I heard about this and I occasionally watch a Linus Tech Talk videos, just when I see one pop up in my recommendations if I'm interested. And I saw one on headphones, and he talked about like how you can download those drivers that give like the different soundscape to your headphones. I guess like it'll alter to make your headphones sound better on the console, and you can do like a Dolby Atmos one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had been using just the standard setting of the stereo uncompressed, I believe, for my Turtle Beaches. But when I turned my X on, it had automatically defaulted to a Windows like Sonic something type setting, and I swear it sounds a lot better. They have the Dolby Atmos one in there on mine, but I haven't tried it yet. But I swear there's a major upgrade in sound quality. That could also be processing through the X, but I doubt it. I think that's more of the drivers. But I could tell more of like
I don't
environmental effects in music.
I've been using these, and I'm funneling all the game audio through it when I am. So it's like some of the weaponry, just like, especially like the which sniper rifle, the sniper rifle that has the exploding ammo,
Devastator.
That in the headphones is just like unbelievable. It's just like, well, this is fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah, I was having a ton of problems in Fort Tarsis walking around, just even regular play on my original model. That's the hub world for Anthem, just for context. And it was a glitchy mess. It was just like choppy. My walking was choppy. Everything was loading in as I was walking around. I would literally enter a room too fast, and I'd see an NPC just go whoop into the proper spot they were supposed to be in. They just
were they T-posing, or were they like
no, but they were like doing their
that.
walk animation, but they were supposed to be over here, but they were over there, so they just skated right over. And there's other pop in and bad frame rate and other stuff like that, bad textures. And I popped in on the X, and it's like, this looks fantastic, and it runs perfectly.
That's great.
I just wish I didn't have to keep hearing the same line of dialogue from Niece and Giles every time I walk through that hallway. It's like,
oh, he relocates himself after a little while.
Yeah, okay.
He's not in
that
hallway. Yeah, he's not in that hallway for me anymore.
Yeah, but it's like every time I walk through, it's like it's him finishing whatever thought he was having to himself, where he's like, and I learned that one the hard way. And it's like, take your word for it.
I heard him talking about laundry a few times.
I heard that a couple times too. The most interesting of conversations in Fort Tarsis.
Yeah.
Just not from him.
Yeah. Things are going all right. I have right now, so hopefully that doesn't eat too much of my computing power, but
you're chopping a bit, so whatever you were talking about eating your computer power, it's doing it a little.
Okay, well,
like I literally did not hear what you were saying that was eating up your computer power because you roboted out.
So something is rendering right now.
Ah, okay.
Something is rendering, and it means that I probably won't show you my pickups.
That's fine.
If I haven't laid it on thick enough.
Yeah.
You have an idea what's en route. But no, I actually got in front of the camera today. I'm proud of myself.
Nice.
For the first time in a while. With my new fancy microphone. This one right here.
Musty, you badass.
Hey, you got to see me finish Catherine last night.
You know, there's something with your streaming though. We noticed, dude. I noticed it last time too. Are you streaming at 60 frames or 30?
I have not tinkered with settings, so whatever OBS's default is.
You might want to look at frames to 60.
Pretty sure it's 30. But even at 30, I'm dipping sometimes, and I'm not sure if that's a legacy computer bottleneck or what. I've had to strip as much out of OBS as I could. So, like, when we did the Extra Life stream, I cut out every single scene that I wasn't using because those scenes were calling out to a web service and they were like constantly pinging it. So I'm not sure if that's a bandwidth issue or if it's a computing issue or what, but I've noticed it does dip at times. Hopefully it's not dipping like for large chunks of time, but
no, I mean we can see.
I'm
I can see what you're doing to make it out, but it does seem like you're missing
Yeah.
some frames there. I don't know if you
Yeah,
just look at doing a 60 frame or maybe how you're casting like at your bit rate.
The card I have is not the HD 60, so the card itself won't capture at 60.
Oh,
So
you
maybe
played
that's
that on
part of it.
PC?
No.
You played on PS3.
I played that on my played it on my 360 through my Elgato Game Capture HD.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's
It's all right. I'm
I've
just saying. I mean,
I've contemplated an upgrade, but
yeah,
it's all right. I'm still getting used to this thing.
no, yeah. I was just gonna give you some tips if you know. I mean,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this won't be. The plan is to continue to do this on on a pretty much weekly basis. Although next month will be a little weird because the game is. I may be able to stretch the game into 2 sessions, but it's like a 3-hour game. So
yeah,
I could probably knock it out in one night. I have some other ideas on things that I may choose to do, although it might not be on the club Twitch. We'll see.
Is that the Edith Finch
decided.
game or?
Yep. Which is officially, as of Friday, will officially be the new game of the month. So
nice. Hopefully I can get a deal on that. I forgot to do that last week.
one.
No, there was a sale on PlayStation, but I just completely spaced out about it until just now, and the sale's already rolled over. So I don't know if
probably
that's
pop up again. It was free on the Epic Games Store had it free a couple weeks ago,
which would help if they were on Mac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if I played on computer at all.
Yeah, these are limitations that I don't ever have to worry myself with.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I just realized I have a out of context gag from my tweet before back here that I haven't taken down. I could not resist that stupid joke.
Oh, it was good. It was good. So I missed Eric. Eric's taken off. Eric took off for the night. Okay.
Yeah. He had to go help with some math homework.
That's up, right? Math homework.
Oh,
careful. Say those words too loud.
Good call. I mean, it was that or listen to us talk about the laser active more. So, decisions.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I just think it looks like a cool piece of equipment.
Yeah, and
is that the one where like you have to put some sensors on the TV and stuff, or what?
It's the Laserdisc system.
Oh, I'm thinking of some. Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking of something else. What's that thing called? I'll look it up. I can't remember what it's called. But there were like some like light gun type games for it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I actually seen one of those. Yeah, I seen it recently too. And it was about the Genesis era.
Yeah. What was it called? I don't know what it was called. I can't remember. You can't even remember like the brand name behind it. I thought it was like Midway for a second, but I'm like, why would Midway make home anything when they were churning out, NBA Jam arcade units and stuff?
Yeah. The obscure consoles are definitely interesting, but it's just like we've talked about them enough tonight. For my purposes, it's like I've only got so much for that. It's cool, but it's like if I kept talking about Transformers for like 30 minutes, everyone's starting to glaze over.
I found it.
Thanks, dude. You're like, dude, you're making me guys glaze over talking about it.
There's the laser active.
No, it's not a bad topic. It's just like I personally just don't have much for it.
What I think I got interested in is the fact that I watched, like I said, the YouTube video of the guys trying to repair it. You know,
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get you the shortcut. It was pretty cool, but basically, you know, they're fixing it. Is it like Last Gamer or Gamer Retro or something? Or
it's the Action Max.
Oh,
that okay.
Yeah, he's talking about the console he was thinking of with the sensors. Yeah,
and it uses a VCR.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you had to put like sensors on the So weird.
That's funny. They tried some weird stuff back in the day.
Yeah, that was around. It was 87, so it was around the time that like it was just before the Genesis decided to had the activator and the
Which one had the rocker, the rolling rocker, or whatever the hell?
NES did, I thought. Yeah.
Most of this is just bringing vague recollections of angry video game nerd videos at this point.
Rollin' Rocker was NES. AVGN. Yeah, if you type in Rollin' Rocker AVGN, it's like the fourth option.
Probably the same thing for Laser Active. Yeah, I think he did that at some point. Or maybe it's just because he talked about Laserdisc movies.
Yeah,
there's an Action Max episode too.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
The Retro Man Cave is what it is.
For the repair video for Laser Active?
Yeah, it's about a 20-minute video. It's pretty cool. I watched it last night just kind of blindly, and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. And I think I was most interested in the fact of like knowing what the challenge that they had presented in front of them was, like the soldering job. I mean, it looks scary, dude, because I mean, they're getting close to those chips, and like you screw up one of those freaking chip traces and stuff, you're screwed. You're gonna ruin it, and I would be scared.
Yeah, that would suck.
I do. I do take what Deej said about the collecting, a little bit of like, all right, maybe we don't, maybe I need to just finish what I'm doing here. But then again, I'm getting to a point with my Sega, collection is like, all right, I got 2 more copies, of the collection coming, and it's like, I'm getting close to a full set, and I'm going to have to either come across it in the wild, or I'm going to have to pay out the ass, for Buster Douglas.
Mm.
And I don't know. I mean, I know a 2 more that I need right off the bat too for the US collection, and I know about the prices they're going for.
Maybe you could find a lot that has a lot of the stuff you have already in it, along with 1 or 2 things you don't, and then you can flip that towards Buster Douglas. Not like entirely, obviously, but
well, I'm already trying to flip a lot right now to, apply towards a more expensive purchase for the collection. But that's just because I come across sellers. Sometimes they'll have multiples of stuff they're selling, and they'll have a couple bucks on stuff. So I'll just do it all, talk to them, be like, hey man, bundle it all together, do me, one price shipping, and then they'll still try to push their shipping off on me, and I'll be like, hell no, dude, put it all in one box, There's no need for that. But yeah, so Musty, I'm still thinking about your Sega CD games too, if you got them.
Okay.
Thinking about it.
I still do. Yeah.
Because you got the what it was Final Fight, Afterburner 3, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
They're in their little. They're all in the
It's all
box
right.
already.
It's
No,
all
no,
right,
no.
man.
I lost track of Wonder Dog,
Yeah, that's one I want to get.
Battle Core.
I got that.
Final Fight and Afterburner 3.
Okay.
Oh, and Owaz reached out to me on one of the one of the SMS games. I totally didn't get back to him yet.
Yeah, see, I told him to connect with you on that direct. Just
Yeah.
Owaz has almost a full set too of Master System, and that's when we talk, that's why I give him shit. Like if I get a game that is from Europe and he doesn't have it, I'll give him shit on Twitter about it. And I mean, not make a little game, little rivalry out of it, Then he was showing off Autofence to me the other day, streaming that, and then I was looking for that game, and it's like, damn, that kind of looked like a good Master System game, European, Dude, my hand smells like I even washed it. Still smells like freaking antifreeze. I was working on a freaking water pump on my Tahoe today. It's been out for about 3 weeks, and I was like, today I got to get out there, man. It's 5 degrees. Every day's been below zero. I'm like, it's 5 degrees. It's a heat wave. So I'm out there like working on it, dude. I'm like, dude, I ain't paying no $300-400 to take this to a shop when I know that I have the tools and stuff to do it. And like, no.
Yeah, as long as you don't leave them outside in the cold.
No, I brought them in. They're all in the
Yeah.
intro. I'm just saying, when you get your stuff laid out, the tools you needed, I just followed a YouTube tutorial, and tomorrow I just got to finish hooking up stuff, and it'll be all done. So
Yeah.
everything went out all at once, water pump and my battery. And it's like, seriously, man, it's like you both got to fail me at the same damn time. So it's like, all right, this was going to be 150. That's going to be 120 plus all the little, parts and things I got to get, like, gasket sealants, freaking new coolant, just all that crap. And it ends up being like 300, 350, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. My reference to leaving tools, that was just a callback to what we were talking about before I started up, where you said you left your tools out while you went to go get something, and it was just stung as soon as you touched the tools because they were so cold.
Yeah, ice cold, yep.
Yeah, I was just making a joke about that.
Yeah, my hand still feels kind of fat, too. I got frost nip, dude. Not frostbite. I just passed my EMT class, too, by the way. I got frost nip. It's like prior to frostbite. So, when we go to Portland next fall, if you guys start to have a heart attack after eating all those rich victuals, I'll save your life.
Don't think you have to worry about me on that one.
Why not, dude?
Because it was a vegan joke.
Oh. That's right.
Yeah, we'll see what Portland looks like. I think I'm pretty much a no-go on Portland this year just because of
too many games and
stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to do this thing where I'm not overextending myself on that, because like part of me is like, I could go and only spend the money to get in the door and not worry about buying things and just actually be like a social individual the whole weekend. But there's so much fun to be had in a floor like that. And so it's like, if I go there with no money, I'm gonna find something and be like, it's only this much. I can, I can have that same exact, sequence of events happen in Philly also, but
try out a different venue. Yeah.
It's just a balancing act, and I just next year, like if I can do Portland every other year, that'd be awesome. if things would work out and I could do it every year. But like the flight automatically, puts that in, makes that a lot more challenging. At least with MGC, it's a tank and a half of gas. And I have family in the area, and Ryan also. So,
I'm definitely
Ryan's
thinking.
in the chat. So, hey, Ryan.
Mouth. He's doing a Dane Cook impression. Mouth. Is Ryan getting in here tonight?
I wouldn't know. He's only made one comment. That one.
No pressure. But yeah, I'm so glad to have, like, I was nervous that I wouldn't have that game, like, replayed in time for tomorrow's recording. Because, like, I knew, like, there was one point yesterday where it was, like, 20 minutes of a single cutscene. I was just like, oh. I mean, I get it. It was like the like climactic portion of the game, but it was just like, let's move it along, Atlas. Not, like, suddenly I get why Persona is okay why Persona might not feel like it's a 100-hour game, but lots of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Long dialogue stuff.
Yeah, apparently the thing you thought was a Dane Cook reference was a ludicrous reference.
Okay.
Which makes me curious if it's a Fast and Furious reference. I've been watching the Fast and Furious in review from Kind of Funny. They've been going through all the movies and reviewing them and rewatching them.
Nice.
Which has been fun. They just put out the episode for Fast and Furious 7. Haven't listened to that one yet.
See, I saw one, and I saw Tokyo Drift, and that's all I've seen.
That might be why those are the only two you've seen. If you had watched 2, you probably wouldn't have even watched Tokyo Drift. Those movies are weird because they took a long time to actually be good. But like, if you watch the later ones and then you go back and watch the other ones for context, it's just kind of funny to see the beginnings of it.
Sure. The first one the first one was like, that was my scene.
You're glitching out.
Import racers like meet up on a Friday night and go do some industrial park quarter mile drag racing.
Yeah, I forgot you were actually into that at the time.
Yes. Me and my Dodge Neon.
I had MX-3, a Mazda MX with the V6 in it. I put a chip in it and sports exhaust, lowered it down. Freaking, it was pretty fast and loud.
I wish I could find the picture of my Neon. It was ridiculous. It was an RT, so it had those came only with stick shift, and it had a body kit and silver racing stripes, but the hood had like a reverse image ram's head on it, like the Dodge Ram. Like, so when it crossed over the stripes, it was absent, but then it was, so it had that on that. I put on the intake, I put on the exhaust, and we did like the lights under the dash, like into the place where your feet go. This is all technical terms,
Yeah. Under dash lighting.
Yeah.
Technically referred to as the foot place.
The foot place. Yeah, I dug that. I dug that car. It was not cost effective for me, and yeah.
Yeah, I imagine with that and those movies being out and Midnight Club and Need for Speed and all that, that just was a good way to immerse yourself into that at the time.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Oh, I had some friends. I had a friend with a Camaro with nitrous in it, and yeah.
Yeah. My question is,
that was a ride.
Did any of you ever watch Initial D?
No. I don't even know what that is.
It's a drifting anime.
I'm afraid to Google that.
There's also a video game series. People would, like, retro gaming wise, be more familiar with that. But I watched the anime of it. So much Eurobeat, but it's like so entertaining though. Like, did you play Forza Motorsport 3?
I played the Fast and the Furious expansion for Horizon 3.
Okay,
no, Horizon. But no, I didn't play Forza.
Okay, 3. So just for context with Initial D, in Forza 3, the regular motorsport one, they have a mountain track based on the mountain from that show, and you can have the car from it in there, which is an AE86, I think it was. Like, and the initial joke in the show is like, it's like the guy like driving like tofu deliveries for his family's shop, but he's gotten really good at drifting due to the route. And like I think his dad was an old drift enthusiast or something, and he taught that to him. Like, so on his route, it would be like they go like have a cup of water in the cup holder and do the best route you can without spilling the water. Stuff like that, like just for a game. He had for like the daily grind on that, but the joke is like looks like an old beater, but it's really souped up. So he becomes like this legendary drift racer because of his tofu route and the beefed up car.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a fun show. The style's a little odd, animation-wise, like just how the faces are drawn, but it was a fun show. I never ended up watching the 5th season of it, but yeah. Ended up listening to a lot of Eurobeat because of that. That music is not good, but it's fun to listen to. Yeah. Just to end on Fast and Furious, though, I fucking hated the protagonist of Tokyo Drift. Han was cool, though. If you want to check out...
you mean Brad from Home Improvement? Oh, that's the bad guy.
I have no idea. Yeah. I have no Home Improvement nostalgia. So,
yeah, he was the.
I just missed the same guy. I just missed that show.
Yeah, the oldest son was the like. He was like the blonde, like frosted tips, spiky haired guy.
That is funny. I was that kind of that time frame there too.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say on Tokyo Drift, just because I think it's funny, is the character Han in that. His actual character name is Han Solo, but spelt like Seoul, like Korea.
Oh.
So I appreciate that. I don't think they ever call him Han Solo in the movies, but that's just funny. But my recommendation on that is to check out Fast 5 and see if you get into it there. But otherwise, don't worry about it. Those movies are fun, though. If you see the trailer for Hobbs and Shaw around, they're just they're just superhero movies now, basically.
Yeah. Ooh,
Super
Duke
fun.
got that Optimus. Duke.
Oh, the G1 Optimus. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I still got mine. It's not G1 technically. I think it's G2, like a reprint, because I have like the black trailer with the talking module, like where you press the button and it goes, "I am Optimus Prime" and that kind of shit. But yeah, here's mine. A little beat up, no hands, and missing a chunk out of the head at the bottom.
Ooh.
But other than that, I still got him.
There you go.
I've also got this weird other Optimus Prime from around that time, I guess. It had a water tank that like you could like Like, you know the toys at the time, like you could fill it up with water and it would have the, for lack of a better phrasing, squirting action. But this weird one. And I've never heard anyone mention this. But
That looks wild.
yeah, it's a super weird Optimus Prime figure. For the longest time, I think I had his arms like up like that, like not deployed at all. And years later, I just figured out you could pull that down. But I have literally never seen anyone mention this version of Optimus ever again.
You should submit it for Joe's other show.
Transformers and beer, whatever it is.
Yes. And video games.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Well, guys, it's good chatting with you, but I am beat. I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, so
Cool, Cody. We'll see you.
See ya.
actually, that reminds me, speaking of beats, I also got in front of a camera today because I played more Beat Saber for the first time in months, which is fun.
I gotta get back in my routine.
Yeah, so do I. I'm probably going to be a little sore tomorrow from it, but I need to get back into that. As I mentioned before, I like really fucked up my shoulder somehow, and like up through my neck on the left side, and then somehow I just, I guess due to compensating for the left side, I just ignored it for a long time, and then it got bad enough like, okay, I can no longer ignore this, and I had to like basically stop doing anything.
Yeah.
Did all I could to just avoid using that shoulder. But my right side got messed up for a little while, I think, just because I was compensating weird for it. But it seems all good now, so I decided to play a little today. It was fun.
Yeah, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, the last session I did, I bumped up to expert, and that is quite the jump.
Yeah, from hard to expert.
Yeah.
When you
the thing is, like, I was playing hard. I was playing on hard to the point where, like, I was full comboing. Like, I could almost finish every single song with at least the battery power turned on, like the battery power handicap.
What is that one? What is that
you
one?
can make 4 mistakes.
You
can make 4 mistakes.
Okay. It's a weird title.
Four mistakes of any kind. So missed cut, explosion, or like, you know, you hit a bomb or something. You can make 4 mistakes. The thing that it doesn't do is that if you set it to that and then you end up full comboing it, it doesn't bump it up to, like, it'd be nice if it bumped it up to that setting. No mistakes.
That's a difficulty handicap, not like you're limited to 4 mistakes.
Yeah, it doesn't change the way that the level plays. It just changes how many mistakes you can make. So it's like you should be rewarded. What's that?
How many can you make normally?
It depends.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on when you make them too. Like, if you have a run of bad notes, like if you get into one of those like up down and you're going the wrong direction, like your energy bar will tick real fast. But you can build that back up, so you can make a bunch of mistakes and then recover, and then make some more mistakes and then recover. I saw like with Bill and Josh finishing Angel Voices on expert. Yeah, like the two of them finished it like within a day of each other, and I can't remember. I need to take a look.
I tried that today. I'm not there anymore.
I was fine until
it started getting really fast.
No, there's a spot when like a higher pitched kind of beat is thrown into the mix. let me see if I can find. I'm just curious how many. Yeah, he made 32 mistakes.
So it was a no fail run.
Not necessarily. There's 731. Oh no, that's One Hope. Sorry, hold on.
Oh yeah, I've only played that song a couple times. I didn't even touch that today.
There it is. There's 1202 on notes, and he had 1171. So he made 31 bad cuts, and got a B rating.
Okay, so like for those super long songs, you can get more.
Yeah, and
spacing.
again, I think it's all about when you have if you have a really bad run of bad mistakes, then and don't recover, then
yeah. I've just never paid attention to exactly how many you have at any given time, and I've never used the battery power thing. I get why they don't give you the full combo when you've got a modifier on, because it's like just the point of doing it completely straight through with no modifiers, even if it's ones that make it harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you can still get a full combo with those. It's just what I was saying is like the no mistakes is like a point is like a 5% boost, and the battery power one is like a 2% boost. So it's like if you did the battery power one and had a full combo, shouldn't they then give you credit for the 5%? Or is because you didn't put the pressure on yourself to make no mistakes, you don't get that? Like,
yeah,
it's inconsequential, because I don't think I will ever full comboing Angel Voices. Did I tell you I was so close? Like the third to last note, I botched.
I got close a couple times today. Not on Angel Voices, but on a couple songs. But I'm just so rusty now. Whereas I was missing like 1 to 3 notes during a song on hard mode. Because like once you start getting to expert and go back to hard, it's like pretty easy. Yeah, I tried Angel Voices on expert today. That did not go well. I did no fail on that just because I knew I'd have to practice it, but I got nearly 100 misses.
Yikes.
It's because I got like one of those long stretches and I just couldn't hit anything.
The back half of that song is where like I can make it probably halfway and be in good shape with only a couple mistakes. But yeah, once the drums, that comes in, that's when things start to get a little nuts. Because you got to shorten up your both left, both right strikes. Like, I'm interested to see, like, part of me doesn't want to dig into like, here's like the arm motion that you need to do to like optimally get that to work.
I'd like to see like some tips on certain combinations of notes though. Like the ones where it's like the down side thing or down up side thing. It's just kind of an awkward motion to do quickly.
Yeah, those are ones where it's like you almost have to just use your wrists, but then you're putting all that pressure on just that. And it's such a good game though. I'm really hoping. Did you see the trailer for Audica, the harmonics one that's coming?
That looks
I'm
fantastic.
excited for what that's going to be. And it sounds like that it sounds as though that is going to be coming to PS4 this year at some point. It's going to be PC first.
Yeah, it's going to go early access on PC, I believe, and then they're hoping to have it on PS4 by end of year.
That'd be fantastic.
That's what I recall from that, but I only saw it from the initial tweets. So
yeah, there was the one trailer, and a couple of.
It looks so good. I've actually heard. I think it was Andrea Renee from What's Good Games got to play it a little bit in a closed room demo, and she said it was really good.
Yeah. Well, I picked it up. So you know that Derek was talking about doing that fantasy draft video game developer league.
Yeah, a little bit. Wasn't that the
Yeah.
one that was mentioned on Easy Allies as a sponsor?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we have that going. I actually messaged the guy because you can only the way the whole thing works is we each drafted 6 games, and then we each had 4 open roster spots for additional pickups through the year. So like as things get announced, then we can put in bids to grab additional games. And so I was looking because the list of games did not have that on there, despite it being announced. And so I messaged the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll get it added." And so then he did, and I went and I grabbed it. So Audica is on my fantasy team right now.
Nice. I haven't gotten into like fantasy football or anything ever before. So what's the deal there? Like, what's the setup?
So the way that this works, so however many teams you have, you draft a certain number of games, and so
it's like tracking players and who you think is going to do well that season and stuff like that, right?
Yes. Yep. So the same concept happens here. You get and the way the scoring works is that they have, it's called Open Critic, which is like it's not Metacritic, but it's like they have trusted reviewers who they count their scores toward this, and they sort of aggregate the score. If the score is above 70, you get a point per point above 70. So if on a 100-point scale, so if a game reviews at an 8, so that would be 80, you would get 10 points for that game for the season. And so if you get a 10, then that game, like if the consensus was that game was a 10, then you would get 30 points for that game. If it's under 70, then you get negative points. So example right now, despite my disagreement with the score, P1 drafted Anthem. Anthem has an Open Critic score right now of 60, or a 6 out of 10. And so he is at negative 10 points for the season so far. Yeah. Now, the other thing that they add in is and I can't remember the term, but you basically pick a game that one of the other teams selected, and what you're saying with that pick is that I'm assuming that this game is going to review under 70, and so you get extra points for picking like the worst pick for somebody else, but nobody else can grab it. So like if somebody thought that my selection of Madden 20 was a bad choice, they could pick that as their counter pick, and if it did, then they would get bonus points. I don't think that like if that reviews really well, I don't think they get like negative on the counter pick. I'm not entirely sure.
It's a bonus chance.
Yeah, I think it almost serves as like a tiebreaker because you're probably likely to have it work out that way, but it's interesting, and it kind of like when they said that the Untitled Goose Game was getting delayed. Like we were all on top of it. Like we've got a chat going with that group, and it's like, oh man, and they're like, oh, still 2019. Oh, what a relief! Like, so we're curious about what's going to happen tomorrow with this
Pokemon Direct.
This Pokemon Direct, and if they're going to give us a date or if they're going to give us what? Because I think P1 grabbed that with his first pick was Gen 8 Pokemon, which is what they effectively had it called in the system, even though it hadn't formally been revealed yet. Yeah. Like they revealed they were working on it, but they didn't.
They were working on a game. They didn't reveal like the title of the game though, or anything.
It'd be great if it was Pokemon Snap.
That would be. They missed the opportunity so hard to have a Pokemon Snap on the 3DS. That system was made for it, and they
could
just
still do it. They could still do it with the Switch. I mean, the Captain Toad has
no,
those. Captain Toad has those levels. You don't need the AR necessarily.
I mean, Pokemon Go
that's
is
what you'd
taking
be
up that
missing is
spot. Pokemon Go is taking up that spot
sure.
of having the AR.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like just having it like the N64 game. That would be cool to be on the Switch, actually.
It'd be as if you were holding the camera, and like you'd actually have to like turn around. Like that could be a really cool implementation. It just would. I don't know how you would do. You'd have to revert to like FPS controls.
Yeah, it would be cool if they had a enhanced port of the original game on Switch to test that concept out.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have like a thing where maybe they could QR code photos that you could then take and print.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because like you'd have to like you could obviously do that still because you could still do a capture with the photo button, the share button, and then you could transfer it to a social media, and then you could take it from there. But that would be too many steps. It would be cool to incorporate that into a mobile app where you just scan it and then transfer it over and print from there. And people have those little photo printers for their phones now, so you could do something with that, I guess, functionality. And if you did that mobile implementation, probably through like the Nintendo app of some sort, you could even probably get points for that in Go. They could tie that in pretty decently now, actually.
Yeah.
There are actually way more opportunities for them to get Snap to be fun than I thought there were when we initially got into that. I had a lot of fun with that game back in the day. I never did the photos, but I like the idea of that. Like, I mean, I never got like anything printed at Blockbuster.
Oh, sure.
It's like, how do you play Pokemon Snap without doing photos?
Yeah, I remember playing that a number of times. It was like one of the I would always go over. So I had these friends who lived within walking distance of our high school, and so their house became the everyday after school house because I was no longer playing. I was no longer doing like football or basketball. So I was like every day we were over there, and they had the 64. Like their parents were very much we will get you the game stuff that you want, and it was always like I remember seeing they had a copy of Earthbound completely like box and all. I remember seeing that on a shelf. But yeah, we played Smash, we played New Tetris, we played the Chef's Love Shack. You know, because that was kind of the early days of South Park, and people were like, we all had a blast. We all thought it was hilarious. I don't know what has like I see them on like Facebook from time to time, but like, do you guys still have that Earthbound? Can I have it? But on my yeah, there's just lots of memories of that. I think I remember seeing what was that game? Homeworld was the like space.
Oh yeah, kind of like the RTS type.
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that a lot. That was popular on Mac at the time, so I was familiar with it. I never played it though.
Yeah, I remember them showing that because at first I was just watching. I'm like, this feels really slow. Like in my head,
kind of a Terminator type character on the front.
I think
for one of them. There were so many different kinds of Homeworld.
I just remember there being like a big capital ship. And then they were like, watch, I can take the camera and go all around this thing. And I was just like, this is interesting. Like,
yeah, this is like the video game equivalent of the Enterprise scene from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. It's exactly that slow.
Yeah. And that was before I really got into I got really into StarCraft after '98. And Warcraft 2. But I never went beyond that. I was always probably a good thing too.
Yeah,
I don't know
missed
that I would have
those, and I
survived.
played 3. I played StarCraft and Warcraft 3.
Okay. No, StarCraft was great. I
rented the N64 game then too.
I have it. It's up there somewhere.
It was awful, but I played it.
Yeah.
I think I played that in a, like, you know, as could you just make forts around the TV? Or did you ever do that where you kind of made like a video game cockpit type situation?
No.
Like where I take a couch and flip it over the top and sit under that, and that would have the TV in front of it, and I played StarCraft in there on the N64. I completely forgotten about that until just now. Like I literally flipped the couch, I put the cushions on the side, and I had the TV encapsulated in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, in that very nerdy, childlike way. But on the note, you mentioned the Earthbound, and that reminded me of a more recent story. This is like a couple years ago, I think. I was in EB Games, and like I was just talking with one of the guys working there about just different stuff, and somehow Earthbound came up. I think it was like a sealed copy had sold recently or something online, and he brought that up, and I asked if it had the plastic on it or not, and he wasn't sure, but I said, like, make sure to check if you ever see a listing like that to see if it's like a plastic wrapped box or if it just has the sticker cover on there, because those games were sold at the time, if I recall correctly, with just a sticker seal over the box rather than plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow this factoid that I had that just up in my head impressed him so much. He was like, "You want a job?" Like he offered me a job because of a piece of Earthbound trivia.
Nice.
But A, don't want to work at EB Games, and B, too far away. So
yeah.
But that's just funny that happened. So it's an odd thing to come out of that. But I also thought, in the course of getting into the Pokemon Snap stuff, I thought about a really funny thing they could do, because I was wondering when they're going to announce the game for release because of Detective Pikachu coming out, and they could release it like near the hype of that, and that would sell a lot of copies of the game, I think, and Switches probably. They have the Hey You titles out. It's not Hey You, is it? It's Let's Go. But I was thinking about Hey You Pikachu as well, so I got that mixed up. But I was thinking about one funny thing they could do as a tie-in to that movie. They could do a Detective Pikachu VR experience where it's like a Hey You Pikachu on N64, but with the Ryan Reynolds Pikachu.
I haven't watched the trailer that they put out today.
Neither have I. I saw what the end reveal is, which is like, sure.
Oh, it was trending.
Okay. Yeah.
It was trending, so yeah.
Yeah, we won't say it here just in case, on the off chance someone is watching and doesn't want to know that. I've heard a lot of stuff is fun in that trailer. I don't care about the thing they revealed. It's like, okay, that again. But it's not uninteresting, but they've just done it so many times that I'm just like, okay, cool, they put that in there. But that movie looks way better than it should.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
And worse, depending on how they're animating certain Pokemon. Lickitung is horrifying. Yeah. Lickitung is horrifying.
Yeah, he's like a Sphinx cat, like.
Yeah.
Just like the pale skin.
Yeah. That movie has such an odd Roger Rabbit tone to it. Like, just look-wise, it's kind of like on the same kind of feel visually as Roger Rabbit or something like, what's the other one? Not Space Jam. What's the other freaking... Howard the Duck.
Okay.
Like the fur texture and the realistic lighting. It's just such an odd look for a movie. But it's weird to have another one that kind of calls back to that style. It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, it's wild because the main actor was in Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom,
Hmm.
and so like I don't think my son has realized it yet. He's also not into like my son's not into Pokemon right now. Like he's into like
He will be.
he will be. Oh, no doubt. But he's into Beyblades.
I can't believe that's still around.
Yeah, there's a on Netflix like the Burst line is there, and then I let him watch 2 episodes of Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I realized that we probably shouldn't like we've been watching Marvel movies, but I'd like after that he was very much chop like wanting to like play fight, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we let's not do this. Don't tell your mom.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I had the I had like gloves and the weapon stuff as a kid for Power Rangers, and I would do that outside.
So I was one of the I didn't tell anybody. Like Power Rangers was my like secret thing that I would watch when I would get home from school, because I was like, in my head I was like a year or 2 older than I should be enjoying that. And really now I look back and it's like it doesn't matter. Like what you like, and it doesn't matter if it's for
You don't know
a younger
that
demographic. At that point, I'm like, no, I don't like Power. Yes, I like Power Rangers. Like, but yeah, so I would secretly watch that. But like, yeah, he hasn't really gotten into Pokemon. We watched the original
movie
show,
horror show. Yeah,
the original show. I think on Netflix it's called Indigo League.
Yep, sounds right.
And I just don't think he got it yet. Like he doesn't follow stories he's getting better, but he doesn't follow stories totally well. But he loved what's that called? Dinosaur King. Have you heard of Dinosaur King?
I think I've seen it in passing. Not like any episodes, obviously, but I've seen the title.
It is Pokemon, but with dinosaurs. And they have cards, and they swipe the cards in this handled like thing, and they swipe the card, and then this little cute stuffed animal looking dinosaur turns into like full size dinosaur, and then they have attacks and swiping cards. And
yep, those cartoons are exactly the same now as they were then.
Yeah, but like, and then there's the bad group, and there's 3 of them, and it is totally Team Rocket. I realize, but like, not one of them is a dinosaur. Like, but it's so goofy, so ridiculous. And then there's another one he watches. That's these like small RC cars. It's called like Power Battle Watch Car or something.
Not a clue.
It's so ridiculous. It's the same. I don't know. I can just imagine like watching these 2 people battling with their little like RC cars that are maybe like that big.
Yeah.
But the way that they do the animation, it's like it's right up on the car, so it looks like larger than life. But like it's just these tiny things just zooming around, and the cars are anthropomorphized and have personalities and stuff. It's whatever. There's all kinds of junk on TV.
Yeah.
And then I showed him Winter Soldier this week. So
yeah,
I don't
know. A little bit of a jump.
Yeah. That was. I was a little nervous about it.
Yeah.
But like
great movie, very gray.
Yeah. Well, like he's not going to pick up on the nuances of like, the senator, the Gary Shandling, like that kind of stuff. Or
that was so goofy, but in the perfect way.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got his comeuppance for Iron Man 2. So
I need to rewatch Iron Man 2. I got the Blu-ray of that a while ago. I haven't seen it in years.
it's
Actually,
goofy. Like,
conveniently,
goofy.
within arm's length,
There you
I
go.
have this.
Nice.
I got this for $2 at a Zeller's when those were closing.
Nice. My
The
board.
Yeah, this is the only Funko thing I own, and I paid $2 for it.
Is that before Funko like locked
I
into
think so.
the
Yeah,
true like vinyl that they've stuck with now?
yeah, I think so. I think they still do the bobbleheads though. But yeah, I got that in the closing Zellers that then became the Target that closed and became Walmart. I also
And will be there forever.
Yeah, the same clearance sale. I also got a Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia figure.
All right.
Because like that's goofy. I'll pay $2 for that. That is not within arm's length. I have no idea
I
what that
hope
is.
he does Mysterio right.
So do I. It looks good.
It does. Like, it's nice that we're at the point now where our we don't have to be like, this needs to look normal.
Yeah.
Like, where it can like legitimately look kind of ridiculous.
I mean, once you go Groot, you can do funny. It's just like you can do Goofy once you've got the fucking talking tree.
Yeah.
With this raccoon pal.
Yeah. His raccoon pal, who's played by an Oscar-nominated actor.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
That stuff that we have that now. But also just absurd. We've gotten 2 Spider-Man movies and the villains were Vulture and Mysterio. It's just like, okay, we've done Dr. Octopus as best as we're probably gonna do him, and we've done Green Goblin too many times. We're not touching Electro again. So that was the weirdest. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the weirdest one of those comic book movies.
See,
I think.
I skipped both of those.
Good call.
Yeah.
I saw the first
everyone
one.
was saying that Andrew Garfield just he's not a good Peter Parker, right? That was the consensus.
Yeah, because he's kind of he's too cool to be Peter Parker. Like he's a skateboarder and all that kind of stuff. Like they did the cool kid thing with him, but he's also treated like a nerd. So it's kind of contradictory. And then when he's Spider-Man, he comes off as kind of an asshole.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like his quips come off less funny and more like he's making fun of the villains.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx's Electro somehow is the weirdest part of that movie. Not somehow, definitely is. That's not even up for debate. I saw this video of someone talking about it a while ago, and they pointed out this scene that I completely missed, rightfully so. But it's just one of those weird decisions, like during his transformation sequence, he gets literally dropped into a vat of electric eels, and that's why he becomes Electro. But so he's getting electrocuted and he's transforming into that weird blue thing. And like his character was kind of gap-toothed and nerdy before the transformation. And they have a part of the transformation sequences where it closes up on his teeth and it electrically fixes the gap in his tooth. Why? Just
That's pretty dumb.
someone spent weeks on that. Why would you do that? Just think about it that way. Like, how long it takes to animate stuff like that. Like that 2-second clip. Like, someone probably spent a week fixing Jamie Foxx's tooth in post. What?
Well, then for the remainder of the movie, they didn't have to do whatever they were doing to
with the gap.
Trying to think if he has a gap to start.
I don't know.
Trying to think back to like In Living Color days. But
yeah, don't watch those movies.
Don't watch the movies. Okay.
Unless you're like intentionally like getting drunk and watching really bad movies.
No, that's not me.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the situation you want to be in, or using other substances. But it's like, just use it in watch those movies in a heightened state if you have to at all.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah, I think at this point I'm trying to keep everything into current MCU as much as I can, with the exception of
the Raimi Spider-Man's probably first two.
no, I mean maybe once we get caught up and through all of this, we might go back and watch those.
Don't want to do any confused continuity.
But I skipped Hulk or Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
or whichever Hulk it was.
It's the Incredible Hulk.
Okay. Yeah.
Apparently that holds up a lot better than people think, but probably not a great movie for.
I didn't want to confuse him with the switch from Edward Norton to.
Yeah, that and subject matter wise, it's probably not the most fun time of a watch
for a 5-year-old.
Yeah, even compared to Winter Soldier, like it's still like that's a little bit of a leap, but Hulk would be even more so because he's essentially a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather have like Thor Ragnarok Hulk.
Yeah. Be
the Hulk that he's used to seeing. Yeah.
That Incredible Hulk movie is so weird because it's kind of it's a backdoor sequel to the Ang Lee version.
Yeah.
It literally starts off, he's in the same place he ended the previous movie in, and they do a "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry" line, and they show all his origin during the opening credit sequence. And it's all like similar to what happened in the previous one. Such an odd choice.
Yeah.
Everything about that was an odd choice. Decent movie, but weird. I'm looking forward to Captain Marvel.
That's like in a week.
Yeah, that looks really good. Crap.
I heard it was reviewing well, or like
not on Rotten Tomatoes though. Not on the user score for that.
Well, I saw
which is gone now because of that.
I saw Rerez complaining. You're not complaining, but like vocalizing like displeasure for the fact that
people were review bombing.
Yeah, it's just like you shouldn't be allowed to review games or movies that you have never
seen.
And
especially before it came out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Yoshi's in the chat. He'll probably be gone soon because we're talking about Marvel movies.
Hello, Yoshi.
Just fair warning. But
I got my hello.
Yeah. I mean, fair warning to him. But it's the comic book movie situation is really awesome, but also really weird right now. I'm gonna have to try and get in a viewing of Alita, Battle Angel, before Captain Marvel comes out, because otherwise I'm just never gonna go see it. And that's an important one to go see in theaters, I think, just because it's the first time they've done an anime/manga movie adaptation without they've never done it well and hidden the fact that that's the source material. Like Dragon Ball Evolution was the exact opposite direction that they went with this. But it's a good movie, apparently, especially considering the source, Alita, I mean. And they set up a sequel, so it's important to go see that and support it financially if you want the sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's one that's like, for me, it would be like a second run.
Second run or home video, Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I have a theater in the basement, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no reason for me not to wait it out unless it's like something that I need day one and absolutely don't want to miss and all of that.
Yeah.
Like every Marvel movie, pretty much.
Yoshi says he's dealing with a lot of health issues again. Yeah, I wasn't saying anything to like say don't stick around. We're not talking about something you're interested in. Stick around as long as you like, and hope you end up feeling better. He says he's dealing with health issues again and stressed out about waiting for test results.
That's no good. We got our fingers crossed for you, man.
Yeah. Hope it all goes well. Yeah, back to comic books.
No.
Hard cut, but I was gonna say that it's funny how Captain Marvel's coming out, and around the exact same time the Shazam movie's coming out, and Shazam is a character who was previously called Captain Marvel. So we're getting two different Captain Marvel movies at the same time, which is funny. I even saw a little Twitter video, a quick thing, where someone said they had to get out of the car for this one, and they showed one of the street side posters for Captain Marvel, and they walked around to the other side, and it was Shazam. The person that was setting those up had to know what they were doing.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, I hope both those movies are good.
Mm-hmm. I'm scrolling through something real quick.
I still need to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's on Netflix now, but I just need to get to watching it.
Yeah, it'll be nice when we get to the Marvel movies that are still in like major streaming services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have to buy all the Blu-rays.
Right. Yeah, because that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Yeah, those get hefty. They don't drop those movies in price much.
Yeah, we're renting them, which
that works.
Isn't necessarily great, but for $4,
Yeah, it's cheaper than what they're charging for them new. Yeah, you basically have to either rent them that way or find a used sale somewhere, or it's going to be in the realm of $20 to $40 a piece for those.
Oh yeah.
Captain,
that's what Eric and Melissa are doing.
Yeah, the first Captain America just came out on 4K actually, I think, or is soon. People need to talk about that one more. It was really good.
The first Captain America?
Yeah.
Yes. I 100% agree.
I was going to say a thing, but I can't say it. But on that note, have you gotten around to watching Solo yet?
Oh.
You should. There are jokes I want to make.
I will. I'm trying to think. I was talking with... Who was I talking with? Oh, yeah. My therapist. Of all the people to talk to, yeah, it was her. I was talking to her about my struggle to want to show Star Wars to my son. And I know that we talked about Rebels being like a good enough entry point to like accustom, at least acclimate them to the world. But what she, the thing she asked me was, how old were you when you saw it? And I said, I remember seeing Jedi when I was like 7 or 8.
Pause for 1 second. Have a good night, Yoshi. See ya. Hope everything goes well for you. Yeah.
Melatonin, if you can. It helps.
Yeah. I've been doing that last few nights. Actually,
I should probably do that tonight too. Because with the podcast tomorrow, I just need to start going to bed earlier.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what you were talking about.
Yeah. So the point I was going to make was that she said, what are you nervous about? And I said, I told her, I'm like, the biggest thing I'm afraid of is that the movie's going to end and he's going to turn to me and just go, eh.
Yeah.
And she's
Especially
like,
with the first one.
yeah, but at the same time, she's like, it's still, you know, amazing space, spaceships and laser swords and blaster fights and things like that. And she's like, if he doesn't the first time, that doesn't mean that he's not ever going to like it. So I think in the back of my mind, she's saying, just go for it. Like, there's not like, if you're comfortable with him dealing with the subject material, which I think I am.
I mean, I would argue that Winter Soldier is a further leap content-wise.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. No doubt, because it's at least grounded in some sort of scary realism,
There's a political bombing in that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think A New Hope will go over.
Yeah.
That one,
which also has a political bombing in it.
Fair. Just on a much larger scale and much less obvious. You don't really see the bodies in that one, though.
Right.
But
well, it was kind of more of it was in defense, right? Like they had to do it before they But so I'm like, well, when do I do it? And so I'm like, let's get through all this Marvel stuff and just have that be caught up.
Yeah. Finish that through line and then go to something else.
But yeah, it's like if by the time Endgame is out, at that point we should be fully caught up. So I could take him to Endgame in the theater. Although I'm
yeah, I think if you go that far, he'll be pretty acclimated to death on screen by the time you get to Star Wars.
Probably be like, yes, I will have desensitized him just enough to deal with a robe falling on the ground.
Yep.
Oh man. But yeah, I think that's been my legitimate worry is I'm gonna show it to him. He's just gonna be like, eh.
You might have that concern with New Hope because, like that movie, but it's a bit slow.
See, and that's why it's like, oh, show him the prequels because that first prequel, he'll totally be all over all the slapstick stuff, and Jar Jar and all of that, but
yeah, what do you do in terms of the Darth Vader stuff? By the time you get through. And again, you're not avoiding exactly the death toll with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I like was it the machete method? Is what somebody called it.
4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6.
Yeah. Well, you could even go.
It's like reveal backstory.
I wouldn't lead with Rogue One either.
No.
Rogue One.
Same reason. Same reason.
Yeah. Well, plus then, I don't know. The movies came out in that order for a reason. Or at least 4, 5, 6 came out first.
Yeah.
To set the world.
Yeah, because you got the prequel problem of they make callbacks to stuff that happens in the future.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Palpatine.
Yeah.
He looks like a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, but you can't really do Solo either, unfortunately, for the actor reason. Like you were saying with the Marvel stuff, you don't want to confuse them with different people being the same characters. You can't avoid that with Solo. So
yeah, because he doesn't. Yeah, he won't pick up on oh well, he's 30 years older now.
Yeah, that won't make sense. That doesn't look that same person.
He's like, Chewbacca looks the same.
Yeah, but I would actually kind of adjust my Rebels recommendation on that note and say, if you do that before the movies, maybe just stick to season 1 because there's some allusions in season 2 with Darth Vader.
Oh, gotcha.
There are also these shorts online right now. I think they're called like Galaxy of Adventures or something like that, where it's the Disney doing like fun like younger audience animated versions of the sequences from the original trilogy with like the original dialogue over it and stuff, but like it's just more slapstick type.
Gotcha.
Like so like clips of that variety might be cool, or things like the Forces of Destiny. That was the uh centric on the female characters. Don't know if that matters either way, but just saying. But those are also shorts that are just fun little things. And as I said with Clone Wars, you could do like the droid episodes, and then you have the connection through line with R2 and 3PO, and then see them at the beginning of New Hope. That'd be the inroad.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to rip through them normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't even hurt to go straight to Jedi. Like he can still enjoy the prequels without being like, this is backstory for this guy.
Yeah, continuity doesn't really matter all that much when you're 5.
Right. Well, he has a hard enough time doing that already. Like we're getting to the point now where we're able to do we're reading chapter books to him that are we're not finishing them in a night, so we're having to stop the story and then pick it up the next night, and trying to get him to remember those things, because like right now, the moment that there's any kind of like talking in a movie, he's out. He does not want any part of it. He gets distracted. He starts
Yeah, just like people sitting and talking isn't exactly all that riveting.
Right. Like all of the council scenes in Winter Soldier, he was just like, if Robert Redford was on screen, he was not interested.
Understandably, that movie's a bit dense.
Yeah. But no, it's been fun. He really wants to see Thor 2 next. So I didn't realize that we probably did that one out of order, but I don't care. I also haven't seen Thor 2 myself.
So. I was about to say in defense it's Thor 2, but
yeah, I haven't. Ryan said the same thing. Ryan said it wasn't. That's like his least, like, of all the MCU movies, like that's the one where it's like it was a weak spot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not as good as the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And Malekith is kind of a boring villain. Weird going from that Doctor Who reboot to that.
Eccleston?
Yeah. Whereas like he has all this personality in that season of Doctor Who, and then it's just like, I am Malekith. I am wearing a bunch of makeup and I talk like this. I'm an elf guy.
Elf man.
Yeah.
Which is so weird, like now seeing the dark elves portrayed in God of War.
Yes.
And thinking that this is supposed to be like the same, but it is the same, right? Like the perception is that this is the same.
The same what?
Like the same dark elves, not like Marvel game dark elves are God of War dark elves, but like the lore, the way the lore flows.
The same kind of inspiration. The same kind of source book.
Built off the same lore. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, they were kind of Malekith-like. Although, again, that movie, not the best example. There's some fun Dark Elf stuff in the comics. They had Malekith come up in like the female Thor run.
Gotcha.
That ended. I need to finish that.
But yeah, once we do that, are we right into Ultron?
Maybe. Speaking of movies that Ryan doesn't like. That one's fun. Bit weird. Fun, though.
Yeah, because the end of Winter Soldier, they tease the twins.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's going to be some continuity juggling when they bring the X-Men in.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Well,
know why people get so sorry to go on another side tangent, but like, I don't know why people get so obsessed with like, how are they going to introduce the X-Men into the canon? Probably the same way in the comics, just no one's mentioned them so far. It's like you don't have to overthink it. They've been over here, we've been over there.
did you ever watch the Patton Oswalt?
The filibuster.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember anything of it, but I did.
Oh my god. He goes on for 8 minutes about how he wants episode 7 to go.
Yeah.
And it involves
Everything.
Involves
The MCU.
Thanos, it involves the Infinity Gauntlet, it involves
Even
the
before
X-Men.
Infinity War. So
Yeah.
a little prescient there.
Yeah. But he ripped that whole thing off. It was entirely ad-libbed, and he went off for 8.5 minutes. Starting the movie on Tatooine with the Sarlacc and like the armored gauntlet
Boba Fett's
of
armor.
Boba Fett climbing his way out.
Yeah.
And like that's how the movie starts.
Funny enough, there was an illusion. This doesn't matter, but there was an illusion in one of the novels, canon novels, of there's no word of if Boba made it out of the Sarlacc, but there's hints that his armor did. And there's someone wearing
like a hairball.
No, like
like
apparently Jawas would like burrow down and like cut into the Sarlacc's guts to salvage stuff to sell. And there was like some Mandalorian armor from a Sarlacc on one of their sand crawlers, and a guy found it. And he's wearing that, and he's kind of like the sheriff on Tatooine.
Interesting. But he resembles Boba Fett.
I think it's Boba Fett's armor is the hinting there, but it's not Boba Fett. That's weird, but it's interesting. I wonder if that'll come in The Mandalorian at all.
Oh yeah.
I have way too many Star Wars factoids in my brain.
Hey. And here's me trying to introduce some Star Wars factoids into my son. It's funny because I'm gonna show you this real quick. Somebody bought this book for this kid's book.
Oh, those.
Right?
Yeah.
It's adorable, but it's like
little mixed messaging going on.
Hello, spoilers. Hold on, let me find one.
Actually, I've got a couple things along that note. Not those, but I have funny things along that side that are just fun to show off.
Yeah, there's like
kid-wise, I
don't want a sister. Like,
yeah, those are funny, but it's like it sends weird messages about Darth Vader. It's like you get your kid into that, and then he ends up kind of liking Darth Vader as a slapstick side dad character.
Mm-hmm.
Revealing the
right
dad
here.
thing for one.
Right here, he's dragging him through Mos Eisley, and he says, "But Dad, you said we could go to Tashi Station after nap." And he says, "I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further."
That's awesome. But it's like, again, you also reveal the father situation.
Right. The whole thing. Yeah.
This isn't something I don't think that many kids would be super into, but there's like Star Wars epic yarns where it's like just yarn scenes from Star Wars movies. I just found this at a thrift store.
That's cool.
It's definitely a kid's book type thing, but
like they're at a toy store, and there's a whole shelf of
Jar Jar figures.
It's not the toy you're looking for. Yes, it is. I don't know, but they gave this. I'm like, I can't show this to him. There's like
so many reasons,
so many little spoilers. Like,
yeah. Again, continuity doesn't so much matter when you're a kid, but that's a mixed message. Like you show that and it's like, okay, I want to watch the movies now, and it's like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah.
But the other fun, just weird thing. This is not something a kid would be into whatsoever. This is more of an adult humor type thing, I guess. But William Shakespeare's Star Wars.
Oh my!
Which is Star Wars written out as Shakespearean plays. This one's no, it's just Star Wars. There's no fancy title. Nope. Verily, A New Hope.
I do have this. This is a trivia book. Obsessed with.
May the verse be with you. I haven't read this, obviously, but it's just funny.
And then this one. I don't know if I remember showing this at one point. It's got the Luke, the coronation Luke minifigure. It's a nice book.
Yeah, there are other like Star Wars kids books that are like in universe, not like spoilery and of that note. Like there's junior novel versions of the movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a whole slew of kids books. I kind of casually collect these, and there's like ones like Ezra's Gamble, which is a side from Rebels, and these are just like tiny books. But another Rebels one is Servants of the Empire. That one would make sense if you saw the episodes, like you'd know where that was coming from. But it's like an Imperial Academy type situation. And Adventures in Wild Space is a series of kids books. It's like I think it's what is it? Which book is this? I don't know the order of them. I'm getting so far into the freaking weeds. But it's little kids are the protagonists of this one, where it's like two kids take on the Empire, still on hunt for their kidnapped parents. Milo and Lena Graff head to Lothal, and it's like that kind of thing, just adventure in space type thing. I think one of them was an ebook, is why this picks up after. Or I'm just getting them in the wrong order. Again, in the weeds. I don't need to go into this. You've got options for kids media for Star Wars, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Just rip the Band-Aid. Go for it.
Look at those online short offerings. You can look at the Lego seasons. Like, there's a narrative, like not parody, one called the Freemaker Adventures. I don't know how much that intersects, but that's Lego Star Wars stuff, so that would be an inroad. And there's kind of a master builder situation going on there with scavengers. So that could be an interest point. Ugh.
Said master builder, and I immediately think Lego. Is that what you were intending, or is there...
Yes, it's because like scavengers and they're like masters of like building ships and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's a Lego series of Star Wars, and it's kind of got a master builder type feel to it, if I remember. And there's one more kids book that I forgot about is like the Joy and the Resistance series. So
okay.
Those are I haven't read any of these kids books. Obvious reasons why. So many other ones that it's hard to get to these. I've heard good things about them, but it's like hard to get there. Yeah, one of the safest. I would still screen it beforehand, but I'd say like one of the safest inroads would probably be those droid episodes of Clone Wars, because you get droid adventures during the Clone War, and Anakin's even there at like the very beginning. Like he's like dropping them off essentially. It's like, okay, R2, I have to go do another mission, and then him and C-3PO go on adventures. So it's like you have a hint at Anakin, a hint at the Clone War, and you've got droid adventures. So then you start up A New Hope with the droids, and you have Obi-Wan talking about Anakin and the Clone War. So that would be a reference point there. It's like, so he's aware of Anakin, and then you go through that, and then you get the reveal. So it's like, that's a thing that could work, I'm saying, in a very poor way. But it would create awareness of that past without showing the prequels. And then you go deeper into that.
Yeah, because there's like, I mean, there's a ton of games that we could be playing, but it's like, I don't want him to pick up the story from that. And then the ones that aren't directly tied to the Skywalker saga, are beyond his comprehension right now. Like, we're not going to play KOTOR.
Yeah. Oh boy, I barely
Like-
can get into that now.
You know, like it's like Rogue Squadron would work, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
There's not really much there.
simple, right?
I mean, yeah. And they do definitely touch on the story. I guess the safe one would be Star Wars Pod Racer. Because there's not exactly a lot of deep lore going on there, and it's from the first one. Chronologically. But yeah, try like one of those online clip type shows for a quick burst of Star Wars, or those droid episodes. Screen them first; they might get a little dark. Just because it's been a while, I don't remember. I've gone on long enough, I think. If you have direct follow-up questions,
No, I don't.
Later.
I don't.
but
I
think that's enough for
just
that
need to
now.
find, like, I have 2 different VHS sets of the original trilogy.
Neither. Go with the Blu-rays.
Okay.
Edits or not, it would be an easier sell visually, just like fidelity-wise. You've been watching the Marvel movies. There's even if not like cinema snobbery, there's some kind of like expectation of visual quality and clarity.
Yeah.
And
right. And we'd want the best audio quality we can get. And
yeah, like all the visual stuff, like the hit or miss things. But a kid's not going to care that there's a different music scene. A kid's not going to care that there's like, I'll put it this way, in terms of a kid being put off of Star Wars by the special editions. I'm not going to reach behind that. I've got a whole bunch of ships in front of it. That's not happening. I had that gold box set as a kid when I was 7 or 8, before Phantom Menace came out, and that was my first exposure to it. And now that I've got a shelf next to me, it worked.
yeah. Okay.
The only thing that sucks is like the box set is expensive, but other than that, maybe you can find a sale on it somewhere.
Yeah. I'll find it.
Yeah, they're inroads, and if one doesn't work, you can try something else.
That's right.
And just as a very quick aside for just how goddamn many kids books for Star Wars there are, and that I have managed to collect so far. These were turned sideways, so I forgot about them. I only showed you canon material. This is my Legends material kids books collection as of now.
Okay.
So many. Also, in terms of childhood inroads, this is one I had as a kid.
Oh.
It's just that scene. It's
Just that
scene.
one scene? Really?
Yep. Yeah, it's
Wow.
like really thin. It's just tiny.
Used to going through the core.
Yeah, and I guess due to excitement of this book and the movie coming out when I was 9, I had a figure of this fish with the ship coming out of it that you could pull and it would drag it back in.
I remember that toy.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but yeah, I've gotten way too far into the weeds on the Star Wars shit. But obviously, you know who to ask if you have questions.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
We should probably wrap.
Yeah, before I get into the weeds on something else. Also, I ran out of water a while ago. I very much need a drink.
Yeah. No, I need to get to sleep.
Okay. That
All right.
Star Wars talk probably helped along the way.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. Hopefully that's actually useful this time around.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're closer now. Like, I wasn't at a spot where I was like imminently trying to figure out how to do it, but like,
yeah. After the
there's some part of me that's like, I want him to hear it before he like starts to hear it
elsewhere.
Like elsewhere, right? Like once he officially gets into kindergarten, there's that increasing odds that like there's gonna be a T-shirt that has
those are
that
the most
has-
spoiled movies of all time. I don't
Yeah.
think that's a stretch. Like,
Mhm.
because so many lines and so many important lines are just cultural backdrop at this point. Like the "I am your father" jokes, all over
Yeah.
the place.
Right? Tommy Boy.
Darth Vader is one of the biggest pieces of merch. You can't avoid that for a very long time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Should we call it?
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Catch you later. See you on the
Okay.
anthems.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get some Xbox One time in tonight before bed. But anyway, I'm gonna end this. Okay. See you next week.
Well,
And
see ya.
see you specifically on Anthem, but everyone else next week.
Cool.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.